Day 2 in Mauritania, and last night at the briefing the competitors were treated to a visit by the country's highest authorities. It gave Jean-Louis Schlesser the chance to thank them for their hearty welcome and the ease with which the AfricaEcoRace caravan was able to cross into Mauritania. I would like to thank Morocco for allowing us to leave so quickly. And of course Mauritania. Mauritania has made an incredible effort. They do the visas here in camp. They send people to set it all up and do the whole caravan. It's extraordinary. I'm very proud to have been able to achieve this. We have an incredible amount of help from the authorities here, and I'm very grateful to them. Back to the race, and those still in play had to drive a big loop out and back into Chami today. And for the first time in 10 editions, they took on a marathon stage, nicknamed the 500 miles. All this means is that once they finished today, the cars, bikes and trucks were closed in a parc fermé, where the mechanics could go nowhere near them. In total today, they had a 496-kilometre time section loop around Chami. Imagine our surprise this morning when we found Paul Anders Olavalseter wandering about in bivouac. The celebrated Norwegian rider started this morning, but his fuel injector problems came back and the marathon stage was over for him. He can't start tomorrow either, as it is part of the same stage. In 70 rally raids, this is only the second time he has had this kind of trouble.
Yes, today I was the first one out on the marathon after 2 kilometers, so it's a very disappointing day. But I had problems 3 days ago also with injector, but this is same problem, but there is something more that makes the trouble, and we don't know what it is. But we will try to find out, and maybe I can go lacrosse the stage there or something. I don't know.
He could then ride in with those battling for the podium, such as Luis Oliveira. Initially second today, the Portuguese rider missed a waypoint and picked up a 20-minute penalty, pushing him down to third. I was very pleased with this stage, which went very well. I led at the beginning and at the end of the stage. I loved opening the race. It was like a dream come true. Then Chechi caught me and we rode together. My goal today was not to let him pass me. I'm pleased because the navigation was really difficult. Tomorrow we will finish the marathon stage. We will see what happens. My goal is to get to Lac Rose. The rider that benefits most from his penalty is Agushkov, who now finishes in second. No problem with his bike going into the parc fermé. She is in excellent shape. All in all, a good day for the Russian.
Today is a very long day and a little difficult navigation, and before finish section is sent, but for me it's good. I like it. Yeah, super.
Our race leader also missed the waypoint today, but a 20-minute penalty still didn't stop Paolo Cecchi winning his 4th stage of the race. He's not worried either about leaving his bike in the parc fermé because it's running as it should. It was a really fast stage today, with some dunes to cross. It was great fun. I rode nearly the whole way with Luis Oliveira, so I'm pleased. I caught him after 70 kilometers and we rode together. So it's all fine. I just need to continue like this. In the stage today, Paolo Cecchi wins again with 1 minute and 5 seconds over Agushkov. Oliveira is once more in the top 5 in 3rd place. After them, Benko, Jensen and Julian Sanchez. In the GC, Cecchi stretches the lead over Luis Oliveira, who is now 58 minutes and 45 seconds behind. Benko goes up 1 to feature in the top 3. Rui Oliveira, Jonathan Blackburn, the leading Malmoto, and Henrik Ram make up the rest of the top 6. We have a living legend in our midst this year. Franco Pico has 25 Dakars under his belt and has been twice second and once third. At 62 years old, he has decided to come back to Africa. He had heard so much about the AfricaEcoRace that he decided to come and see it for himself. I spoke to some friends, people who've already done the race. I also spoke to Jean-Louis Schlesser and René Metsch. Finally, I said, okay, I'll come and do my first AfricaEcoRace and go back to Dakar. For now, I am very happy to be here. It's much more like a family. There are fewer participants. We see each other and chat. And I think that is more the African spirit. However, a question remains. At 62, what drives Franco Pico to keep riding?
Je suis très content aussi parce que je fais ma moto.
I am very pleased that I'm still riding. I do my own repairs. I like finding mechanical solutions. At 62, I tend to use my head a bit more. 30 years ago, I just drove really fast. Now, it's more important to use my head, my experience, and my knowledge. Franco Pico is a rally raid legend, so what advice would he give to the up-and-coming riders who are launching into Mauritania for the first time? All there is in the desert is sand. Anytime we think of desert, we think of sand. Being on a bike is usually easier in the sand than being in a car. Always depends on weight. You need to make a few small changes to your riding. You need to be further back. Don't use your brakes because that can be dangerous. It's the most fun, but it's also the most difficult. For now, in the first 2 days racing in Mauritania, Franco Pico is riding well and finished both yesterday and today in 14th place. In Morocco, he came in 5th in one stage and overall he's sitting in 7th. Back to four wheels, and 51 cars and trucks were on the start line this morning. In the T2 category, the vehicles which are most like normal cars, albeit with a few modifications, the fastest today was the Polish driver Robert Szuskowski. Once again, Gerard de Roy brings home his truck ahead of all the others. He had one puncture but still managed to come in 7th in the combined car-truck category. He was, however, a bit stressed about getting the truck into the Parc Fermé on time. Guillaume Gomez is back in his stride. For the second day in a row, they finished 3rd and he seems to have put his Moroccan worries behind him. Today we finished 20 minutes behind and we got stuck in the sand. It's normal, I haven't driven in sand for a year. I was a little bit apprehensive, I hesitated. I think we can go up to play with the leaders, but to get past them would mean going very fast. It's the first time I've driven with François. He brings a certain maturity to my driving. He calms me down because I have a tendency to go a bit hard. And of course, he helps me with the navigation. He can navigate and help me find the right tracks at the same time. Today we got a bit of time back because he made some really smart decisions which allowed us to move up the rankings. No change at the top as the usual suspects battle it out for first place. Today, Serradori came in 2nd with a time of 3 hours, 55 minutes and 57 seconds. The day was mostly uneventful and they drove at a good pace. Everything went well. We didn't damage the car, the tyres are intact, no punctures. Fabien did a great job. I thought I was faster than Vassiliev on the open plains, but apparently not. We drove side by side at 200 kilometers an hour. We even waved to each other through the window. It was a massive battle today for nearly 500 kilometers.
Grosse bataille aujourd'hui pendant presque 500 kilomètres.
The fastest car today for the 5th time in the race was that of Vasiliev. The Russian really ripped up the Mauritanian course. He drove extremely well and the car is ready to roll for tomorrow. Of all the 19 AfricaEcoRace stages he has raced since last year, he has won 9. That is nearly 50%. In the car track category today, it was once again victory for Vladimir Vasiliev. The Russian crossed the line 2 minutes and 9 seconds ahead of Suradori and 30 minutes 27 ahead of Gomez. It was 7th place for De Roy. In the GC, no change at all in the top 6. It's a small lead for Vasiliev, with Seradori only 16 minutes 23 seconds behind. Thomas is now far behind at 2 hours and 2, with the Swiss driver Remy Vautier at 3:42. And there we have it, day 2 in Mauritania. Tomorrow's plan? The second part of the marathon stage with 439 kilometres of timed section between Chami and Nazougi. As always, we'll leave you with some of the best images of the day. Bye-bye.